So one of our goals in doing this is that you will walk away today with lots more information, lots more insights. But as you heard with the Joint Base presentation by the Colonel, these stories all relate to people as well. And what we're trying to do really is to take the 125 or 150 folks that are in this room and have you go away as knowledgeable ambassadors for what this industry, what this defense and aerospace industry means to New Jersey, and in the process have a result that will do the things that we sort of talk about on the slides that you saw before, maintain the level of robustness of the industry in New Jersey, and do new things. So with respect to new things, if we are here in South Jersey at the only FAA research site making the next generation of air traffic management and control for the country, we're probably making it for the world. So we're going from radar to satellite. That's how I would say it. That's probably technologically simplistic, but that's how I sort of understand it. So there's a way to build around that. How do you build around that? You try to bring in the industries, the folks who are going to vend into that environment, and the folks who are going to benefit from it, and the folks who can expand it. So our next speaker is Ron Esposito. He is the person who is in charge of the research park effort, which is contiguous with, but not the same as, the FAA facility in Pomona. And while Ron makes his way up here, and I change seats with him, one of the things we want to do is leave you with factoids. So here's an old factoid. It doesn't matter anymore. But the airport in Atlantic City used to be, when we had a space shuttle program, an alternative landing site for the space shuttle.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here. I want to thank PlanSmart for inviting me. Bad news is I do have a PowerPoint.
It should be.
Okay. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yes, or the space bar.
Okay, very good. Go back.
Given away.
Very good. Okay, so I've spent my entire career in aviation, so I'll talk about aviation. I do not consider myself an aviation expert, but I get to work with a lot of them. I'll probably overlap a little bit with Congressman Rothman and Colonel DeShure with the Tech Center, because I worked there for 34 years, had the pleasure of holding many positions, couldn't hold a job for a while, and retired as the acting director. Went to work in private industry for a small aviation company, and came back to be the executive director of the Aviation Research Technology Park, which we're in the process of creating right on the campus of the Technical Center. I personally think, and the experts in aviation I talk to, think that New Jersey and South Jersey have a strong nucleus of aviation entities already. A number of them are right here on the panel. You've heard from the Joint Base, you've heard from the Air Guard, and you'll hear from the others. And ASIN's here. We have other technology parks at Rowan. Major industries are here, surrounding Tech Center and other areas. Major academic institutions. It's very, very strong. And there's no reason, most of us think, that New Jersey can't be the global center for aviation. And some of the things that the Congressman Rothman talked about, I think will help to make that happen. A shared purpose, collaboration, and we think the creation of the research park will actually foster that too. I can't go too far without talking a little more about the Tech Center. It is the leading air transportation federal facility in the world, as the Congressman said. There's 400,000 square feet of research and lab space there. Most of the R&D is done, a lot of the R&D is done there, test and evaluation, modeling and simulation. They have recognized expertise across the world, fire experts there, weather experts. They've been there for 55 years, and most of the innovations coming out of aviation were created and tested there. It covers 5,000 acres, annual payrolls over 145 million, and most importantly, they are a key player and fundamental component in the next-gen air transportation system. And they also will be a key player in the unmanned aircraft systems as we figure ways to integrate them into the National Airspace System. So our mission, it's clear, it's really twofold. It's one, to advance the aviation sciences, and we've all talked about that, and the FAA is in the process with the Next Gen program. Here's my simple way of explaining Next Gen. It'll allow more aircraft to fly more closely together on more direct routes, reducing delays, providing unprecedented benefits for the environment and the economy through reductions in carbon emissions and fuel consumption and noise. And you know, you could read a lot in the papers about Next Gen. It certainly will enhance air traffic control and transportation. And the second part of our mission is economic development. We did a feasibility study a number of years ago on the research park, and it's expected to employ, when fully built, 2,000 people. And the Association of University and Research Parks tell you for every person inside the fence, there'll be 2.5 jobs outside the fence. A full build out, we expect to build 7 buildings at 400,000 square feet. We'll have high-speed connectivity to the technical center that Colonel LeSure just described. They have the labs, every lab from the oldest legacy systems, because they do maintenance on the systems there, to the very newest when they do test and evaluation. We'll have high-speed connectivity to those labs. And the very first building's already designed, and there'll be an FAA laboratory right in that building. And probably most importantly, we already have agreements in place to do joint research with the FAA Technical Center, called another transaction agreement, and we also have one with Atlantic City International Airport to do joint research on the airport. Part of the way we're doing it is a public-private partnership in the creation of the park and in operation of the park. And you can see the stakeholders we have here. We have Congressman Frank LoBiondo has led the charge for the park from the very beginning and continues to be an extremely strong supporter. The late Senator Frank Lautenberg supported the park, so did Senator Menendez, and numerous other public officials. You can see our board is really a combination of private and public, with the Stockton College, Atlantic County, the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority, and the South Jersey Transportation Authority that has the airport. And we have private members. The president of the board is Dr. Ed Salmon, who was former Assemblyman, mayor of Millville, spent a lot of time on the park. And we have former directors of the Technical Center on our board, Dr. Ann Harlan, Larry Williams, and local entrepreneurs like Sam Young. Congressman Saxton is a special advisor to our board. He's personally taken me to the Joint Base and toured around and taken people from the Joint Base to the park and the Tech Center. And the center director, current Technical Center Director, Dennis Filler, is an advisor to our board. So we have really a shared purpose right there and a good team. Colonel LeSure already covered this. These are the other tenants at the Tech Center. I'll tell you, there are about 4,500 people that work on that campus. About 3,000 work for the Tech Center, half as federal employees, half as contractors, and the other 1,500 support these other tenants. And you know, they're great, all aviation related. The Department of the Transportation Security Lab, of course, was part of the FAA before 9/11, does all the testing for all the equipment that goes into airports. Air Marshal facility, a major training center there. I had the good fortune to be the point in bringing them to the Tech Center. They love that area. They flourished there, of course. When they came there were a handful of people. After 9/11, it's a major training center. We already talked about the 177th Fighter Wing. Coast Guard also there. They have a search and rescue mission and a security mission. I also had the privilege of bringing them to the Tech Center. And of course, Atlantic City International Airport. We designed the park to be a campus-like setting. We want the whole thing is based on collaboration with industry, government, academia, and we want that collaboration. Even the first building we have designed has a lot of open space to encourage that. We foresee major initiatives and programs being done there, and it's all about leveraging with the FAA and the other government entities between the private industry that will be there and the academia. There'll be areas working on unmanned aircraft systems, cybersecurity, big data, information security, and on and on. There'll be labs, private labs, and shared labs we anticipate. That's the couple gates going in and out of the park. Really the benefit to the FAA is to have partners, especially in today's world, and to leverage the resources to do the research. from industry and academia, and the same for the members and tenants. To be able to have access to those laboratories and the expertise there and to work closely with them. And the agreements that we have in place that I described actually permit, if the marriage is right and the partnership is right, funding to go under those agreements that we currently have. That's just a rendering of the first building. Where we are right now, it's no secret we haven't moved as fast as we would like. One of the big obstacles that turned out to be was we didn't have the lease to the property. Another entity did. It's been a long legal and financial issues surrounding that. I'm happy to say hopefully by next week, I'll be able to hand that lease over to the FAA to make a decision to transfer it to us. It took a lot of effort to get to that point, so that's a major, major achievement for us. I continually meet with potential members and tenants. We have members now. Went to an air traffic control conference just a week before last. Number of companies interested. I'm talking to a neighborhood of 40 different aviation companies. Some of those companies and some of our current members, we're developing collaborative research projects that will work with them and some schools involved and with the FAA. We also designated a conditional master developer, New Vistas Corporation. We've been negotiating with them, and they would do a lot of the park activities. You know, construction could be financing, leasing, marketing, property management. Just at the end of April, I think it was a major accomplishment. We signed a memorandum of understanding with the Richard Stockton College in New Jersey, and that will allow us to do formal agreements to actually become an affiliated organization as part of the Richard Stockton College in New Jersey. We have mutual goals. Of course, we want to foster aviation. They want to build their aviation program, and they've done a tremendous amount for economic development in the surrounding area. If you just pick up the papers almost on a weekly basis, you'll see something happening with Stockton. So we're very excited to be part of Stockton. And last, as mentioned previously, the FAA in the Modernization and Reform Act of 2012, Congress asked the FAA to find a way to integrate the unmanned aircraft systems into the National Airspace System, and also in that legislation they called for 6 test sites across the country for various criteria: climate, geography, infrastructure on the ground, research and development. So we're happy that the park's part of a submittal under those test sites, and a team of Virginia, New Jersey, headed by Virginia Tech and Rutgers. So I can't give details of that because we're in the procurement process, but I can say that if we win in one of those sites, as you've already heard, it'd be a big, big, big boon for economic development in this area, I believe. I mean, just to give you some of the statistics that are out under the AUVSI, which is the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International. They're saying the first 3 years after integration, there'd be $13 billion in economic development. In New Jersey, they said $26 million. And in the first 3 years of integration, they're projecting 70,000 jobs. In New Jersey, over 1,300 jobs. So that just gives you a flavor of the economic impact of the unmanned aircraft systems. And that's all I have. Thank you.